Thank you for joining the Asheville Rise Stronger Together podcast. This is your host, Jessica Knupp with the Asheville Area Chamber of Commerce. I hope you enjoy today's episode. This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, True Point Bank. All right, today we are here with Ann Smith with College H.U.N.K.S, Hauling, Junk, and Moving. And I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. I can remember when you guys first moved here and got started, but I'd love for you to tell our viewers kind of like what your role is in the business, obviously, and kind of how you guys ended up in Asheville.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for having me, Jessica. I really appreciate that. Yeah, my name is Ann. My husband and I own this local franchise of College H.U.N.K.S, Hauling, Junk, and Moving. It is a mouthful. And our goal is to decrease people's stress related to moving and junk removal. That is done with our team of H.U.N.K.S. H.U.N.K.S is an acronym. It means honest, uniformed, nice, knowledgeable, and service. You got a hunk in the room today.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
But that's our goal. That's our brand promise. So we started in 2020, moved here mid-COVID, wanted to live in Western North Carolina, and there was an opportunity to open this local office. So it's been a great journey, and just so appreciative of the chamber and this community. It's just amazing here in Western North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I know when you moved here and starting the business, I mean, I can remember, you getting acclimated with the chamber and then your new home as well. And you do so much in the community with the business, but just you in general. So we really are grateful to have you as well in this community.
Well, thank you. One of our mission of College H.U.N.K.S as a brand is to move the world, and that doesn't mean moving people's stuff. That really means being a part of the communities where we serve. So that's one of the reasons that we chose this. We just really like that, and great opportunities here.
Yeah. Well, and also just like shaping some of the young people that work with you guys as well. Like, I mean, you guys do a lot of investment into your staff as well.
We do. Building leaders is one of our core values, and my background is career development, and so I love to be able to help folks to develop professionally, personally, even if it's critical thinking, problem solving, personal responsibility, accountability, those types of things that they can take and use elsewhere in other jobs as well as what we're doing. So trying to put a little bit of that into the world.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So when you think back at, now we're over a year with the hurricane, what are some of the things like in that initial kind of like Friday morning into the weekend? Like, I'm sure you guys had things planned. What did that look like?
Yeah, that was really something. Our operations manager at the time actually has experience in disaster management. So he was amazing. Was able to really keep level-headed when there are emotions, right? We all had emotions, but because he had that specialty, he could kind of just keep the logic at the forefront of his brain. So, immediately some folks were gathering at the shop. They would take chainsaws out, cutting trees and doing what we all did, right? We had the benefit of a little bit of a larger footprint, more people to gather. And then once things started to come back, on power, water, we had to circumvent. We had some landslides or a mudslide on Brevard Road that we should circumvent, and we were able to work out of a local hotel lobby for a few days, which it was really amazing. Yeah, just the community support, so we could do dispatch, because even though the hurricane happened, oddly enough, there were homes that weren't hit that were still having a regularly scheduled move going on. And that was really a mind game kind of for our team, because they wanted to be out there helping the ones that needed the help. But yeah, we to still try to keep going with what we were doing.
Right. Oh my goodness. So how was it connecting with your team? Like, did you guys have
it took a little while, like it did for everyone, and many people had to go wherever their families were. They were in Florida, they took off, they weren't sure what was going on. I will never forget, one person said to me, the first thing I did, Anna, is I showed up at the shop because this is what I knew. Everything else was just upside down, but I knew to come here. And he found people, and that was just like, you don't realize what a sense of normal, how that can be so comforting.
Right, it is. You're gonna make me teary.
We had another serendipitous thing that happened. Someone that I had met in the chamber had called and said, "Hey, I've got a Starlink. I don't know if you're set up with internet now or if you need anything." And I said, we don't have one. We haven't had a moment to try to figure out how to get one. I'll buy, yes, please. He goes, I'll sell it to you at cost. He goes, no, I'll actually come deliver it. I set it up for you. So it was this wonderful, the things just happened. So it allowed us to continue to be out there and assist.
Right. And that was wonderful to see. I was actually on that email chain that was going back and forth, just us checking on each other, as networking groups and as a chamber and art part of our outreach. And so I did see that communication going on, and that was just
it was amazing.
Wonderful. Yeah. It was great. So as you guys kind of got through those moments, like getting back to normal, what did get or normal, if you will?
We're an essential service, so we do the things when things are good and when things are not good.
Right.
So we're geared to do that. As I mentioned, many of our team left, but being part of a franchise, we were able to call on our franchise partner in Greer, South Carolina, as well as Johnson City. And so we brought in, depending on what day, it was maybe 15 extra people, may have been 10. We put some up in Airbnbs, the ones that came from Tennessee, so they could just stay for the week, because there were a couple big apartment communities that were condemned, and we had to get them out. So you can imagine moving is stressful on its own. But these folks they watched their cars flood in the parking lot. Right. They had to get out with safety, and everyone was particularly, was okay. Then when we also had to pack them on the same day, get them out, and then many moved to temporary storage, and then had to make another decision because they had a time limit to do this. So it was a lot, very difficult. But we were grateful to have the additional H.U.N.K.S support from other locations, and I think that's one of the ways that we were able to get through it.
Yeah, it's. You don't think about those things. I mean, like you said, moving is kind of has emotions in itself, and then to have to do it quickly, unexpectedly, and you guys are very compassionate about that as well. Because moves sometimes are good and sometimes not so good.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. I think that's one of the things that makes us different is the caliber or what we try. Our folks believe in what we're doing, and it takes someone, not just muscle, to move something. We're not hiring laborers. I need someone that can be compassionate, can look you in the eye and say, it's going to be okay. I know this is hard. We're going to get through it. Let's break this down. Because it's overwhelming.
Yeah. So were there any type, and being a part of a franchise, like you did say local support from, or, extended support from Greer and Johnson City, like, were there anything like nationally that were going on?
That's a great point. Our brand central headquarters is in Tampa. So of course they had Helene and Milton.
Right.
And even in the midst of everything that was going on down there, which there's another story there, they were able to send us a 26-foot truck of supplies.
Wow. So
it actually came through Raleigh because there's a different corporate office, and they sent the full of supplies, which was amazing. They worked with, there was another nonprofit that donated some, that came over to us, and it just allowed us to turn our warehouse into kind of a mini distribution center. And we all did that, right? Every business, every human here that was here, we all did what we could. So what we did wasn't anything special, but we had generators, we had PVC, we had supplies. So folks were coming to us to come and get things, and the community that was really interesting to watch were the realtors. They were showing up with their kids in tow. They would select a community at Barnardsville. They would select a different community, like, this is what I'm needing. And once the communication would come up, they would get them like, yep, we've got that, come on in, just grab and go. So it was really interesting to see how they were feet on the ground as well.
Well, and that's probably a lot. You work with those relationships with those realtors, and so they know that you're dependable and can get those jobs done, and that's just also, as I mentioned, just a testament of you getting immersed in the community and all the different things that you do as an individual as well as the company.
Well, thank you. I was going to share, we had that 26-foot truck come. Again, what the franchise did, they raised quite some money. We were able to help out with a lot of, Beloved, Manna, and then one of our own employees lost her house and her 2 cars. So we were able to give substantially there as well. So it was a nice way to support, because when these things happen, even from afar, people want to figure out how to help. So that was a point that we could then take those and distribute, and also do some services that were not paid for, just to help folks that were in the situation that they were in. We had a previous H.U.N.K. I love this story. Evan was with us about 1.5 years ago, and he is in Tennessee, and he heard what was going on, reached out, said, is there anything I can do? And they said, well, strangely enough, we actually have a truck that's a new fleet truck that's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. we're trying to get it down here. We want to fill it. We've got some friends in Nashville that are going to raise money and fill it up with supplies. I don't know if there's anything you want to help with. He's like, yes, and I want to drive it down. So he stopped along the way. He stopped in somewhere, I think Marshall and another one, dropped off suits, raised money on his own, met with a childhood friend of mine. Wow. Stephen and Carmen were collecting donations. And it was just this sweet thing. Really came in, put the old hoodie on, found one from the other location, came down, dropped it off, and then just went on back.
Oh,
Someone
wow.
picked him up and off he went. So yeah, it really just, it's a great community.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, coming together as quickly as we kind of had to kind of figure it out. You know, as far as, you know, we kind of talked about, like, you guys are kind of here for these kind of situations, you know, so any type of learning experience? I know you said that you had someone that was kind of already trained in that, but is there anything that you guys have adapted?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's just really a heightened focus on being in tune to your customers and knowing that there will always be something that people are going through, continue through. We're not in the deep throes of doing related hurricane, but there's still stuff you hear. Oh yeah, I'm moving into this house because the temporary situation I was in has now settled. So there's just that domino effect, right? From all of that, for sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys do with some of the nonprofits in the area?
Sure.
I'd love to hear.
Yeah. So we do with the junk removal, the items that come back that are in good condition that can be donated. We'll donate to Habitat Restore. We work really closely with Homeward Bound, and their goal, of course, is to get folks with stable housing. And so they've got a welcome home center. They'll come and actually pick it up. So we love to kind of get those smaller items just to set people up. We'll set those aside for them. They'll do that. If we get some items, the Asheville Tool Closet, we've been working with them lately, so that's an interesting one. Work real closely with ABCCM.
Right.
So every year there's a Safe and Warm campaign, so that's going to kick off in January. So we're collecting coats and blankets, so we help distribute those boxes out to the locations and then pick them up, bring them back for them. And then Transformation Village, that's the Women and Children Shelter, and it's actually kind of not too far from our office.
Yeah.
So we often can do some last minute things for them if we've got staff available and can move some things around for them.
That's nice. So if somebody had obviously something large, you know, obviously they would give you a call to have them pick up. But if it's maybe something small, do you guys have a way to kind of make those connections with those nonprofits, or like dropping it off at the warehouse, or how would that work?
Yeah, so normally what happens, it would be the junk removal service or item removal service is a paid service, and again, we try to get those items to where we can. I love to be a resource. I mean, if we're not the answer, you have one item, you're like, I don't want to pay the minimum price. Hey, I get it.
Yeah.
It's a price for convenience too. To be able to have someone to come get that, but I love to be able to point people in a direction that maybe it's something that can work out. Another one that I was thinking about was Four Seasons Hospice Home Center.
Right.
They just reopened back on Long Shoals, and then they've got some others down in Hendersonville. But that's another wonderful one that does accept donations if someone has something small and they just want to take it on their own.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
I wasn't sure how that completely worked. I know, you know, some of those bigger items you're like can't get them moved. So is there anything like, you know, as a community that you're still seeing out there that, you know, maybe we could work together with, or anything of the sort?
That's such a great question. I think we all kind of look around and see different things, how our reality has shifted, you know, in general. You know, I guess I really feel like it's that community, looking through everything with that community lens. And you know how we can each do our own little part, and sometimes that little part that we play, maybe that's just a word of encouragement, maybe it's that text, or maybe it's a big giant step. I don't know, but I don't think that we can overlook the small things.
Right, absolutely. Talking about some of this to me is not a small thing, but I know something that you guys do for your staff. I believe it's called a captain's breakfast.
Oh, the Captain's Breakfast.
Breakfast. I'm going to go to one of those one of these days.
I'd love to go one, please. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds delicious, but it just, I feel like just telling that what you guys normally do, it just creates that family atmosphere. And I mean, as someone who's not working, I mean, obviously I know you through the chamber, but it just seems like it's such a connection that you guys have.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
Yeah, culture it's our number one, and that
Mhm.
again is what's setting us different is the culture and the kind of what we're doing and what we're believing in and are creating
Mhm.
for our team. Yeah, so the captain's meeting, they're the ones that are leading the job. So we do a captain's meeting breakfast once a month. So we have a Blackstone grill. Usually have one of the captains are cooking it up. It might be pancakes, it might be eggs and bacon. But actually, I'd love to bring in community speakers. It's a monthly meeting, so we've had H.U.N.K.S Physical Therapy has come a couple times. Asheville Personal Training has come and talked about lifting, safe lifting, and so forth. We've had Manteo Mitchell, who is a local Olympian. We've had a variety of folks. Some from First Bank have come to talk about, savings and different things like that. So it's just a fun way to introduce things that are happening in the community, life skills, learnings, to our team that maybe they've heard of this before and maybe they need a refresher.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's great. I'm going to be there one of these mornings.
Excellent. I'll put you on as a guest speaker. So
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, you've got it.
That would be fun. So is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers about what you guys have going on? Any other stories?
Yeah, that's great. Just the stories of resilience. I think about that large complex down by the river, that River Mill Lofts. We were all hands on deck. I was on a job, 4th floor. We were packing her, getting our house ready and move. There was no lights. There were emergency light fixtures, of course, but no plumbing, no power or anything. And just the resilience of people. I mean, not only that client, but the folks that I saw on the stairwell, the ones that were walking outside and dealing with it. Just the human spirit of compassion. And it was, it was like a disaster zone.
Yeah.
It was wild, but that I will always remember that. And when I'm having a moment, I'm going to think hold on a second here. Let's reflect back and see what we've witnessed and how can we carry that.
Right.
Yeah. Community was just great. We our team was out working, so they weren't able to get to the World Central Kitchen locations on site. So I was able to work with one of the coordinators, Carolyn. She actually had a delivery brought over to the shop, which was amazing to have fresh, hot, healthy food.
Yes.
On the other days, we had crock pots going. So the team, because they couldn't eat if they were working until 7 or 8, they didn't have their own supplies. So we were able to have food for them, crock pots of food, snacks. They could take showers.
That's great.
We didn't have the shower at the shop, so it was interesting times. But we were happy to be able to support them and provide that.
Right, that's wonderful, and I'm sure they deeply appreciated that from an employee standpoint, and have much respect for you and Todd.
We've just had great employees. We had someone come over and drop off his birthday cake from last week. He hasn't worked for us for 6 months, but he had been with us for 4 years. So there's people always dropping in, and you form those relationships, and
Yeah, that's great. So if someone was looking to do a move, maybe the junk removal, how would they get in touch with you? How would they find you?
Several different ways. Our local office number in Arden is 828-483-6054.
Okay.
If you Google us, you'll get our call center, which is fine. We have a little more flexibility on scheduling if you could reach us directly, but we will reach you however you book. We'll find you and reach you by call. And then our Instagram, if you want to see what kind of fun we're up to, is at College H.U.N.K.S ABL.
Yes, they're always up to some fun. I can tell you that. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you so much here at the Chamber. You're an ambassador with the Asheville Chamber, and we really appreciate all the work that you do and your commitment to the community and to the Chamber. So thank you so much for all you guys do.
We are just so tickled to be a part of this community. It's just a wonderful place, and so we appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for all you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, we will have all that information online. And thank you, Ann, so much for being here today.
Great to be here. Thanks.
If you enjoyed today's episode, like, comment, and subscribe. To learn more about joining the Asheville Chamber, scan the QR code on your screen or visit ashevillechamber.org. Until next time.